So good afternoon. So today is July 25th, 2020, and we are continue the second part of our Able Leadership Express Education program. Today, the second part will be English. And first, before we start, we want to thank Kashyap and Jonathan for finishing their chemistry class last hour. And they did a very good job. And I think all the middle schoolers, they learned so much new things today. So with that said, we'll welcome Elizabeth and Nichelle for today's English lesson. And right now, it's 12:02, and we will have this lesson also live on the YouTube. So here you go, Elizabeth and Nichelle. Please introduce yourself, and then you can go ahead to start the class.
Hello, I'm Nichelle. And I'll be sharing screen.
Nichelle, you can also bring your video on so people can see you.
Okay, sure. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So today we're going to be going over the argumentative essays that you guys wrote last week for homework, and we'll be doing peer editing. And then we're going to review a few other things like grammar. So first, let's go over what we learned in the last lesson. Last week, we went over the structure and formatting for argumentative essay. And for your homework, you guys are supposed to write an argumentative essay that supports either online school or traditional school. So what did you guys think of the topic? Since most of us are in online school right now, I'm sure we all have a lot of experience with this. So there's plenty to write about. And it was easy for you guys to find sources too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, did you guys prefer online school or traditional school?
Traditional school.
And would you want to share a little bit of why?
Cause I guess in online school, it's a lot easier to procrastinate, and you don't have any social interactions, and it forces students to spend a lot of time on screens.
Definitely. Those are all great reasons. And did anyone else have questions about last week's lesson? Anything you wanted us to clarify or go over again? Okay. That's good.
Okay, so today we're doing a peer edit. So we're gonna go over the rubric real quick. So yeah, Nichelle. All right, so in the introduction, you should have detailed background information, a clear depiction of the problem, and a strong thesis statement. For the conclusion, you should summarize main topics in the essay without repeating, you have to give the reader something to think about, and don't introduce any new ideas. For the body paragraph, you should have 3 or more well-developed points with supporting detail in the TPEC format that we went over, and then the counter-argument acknowledges the opposing side. So for organization, you should have a logical and compelling development of ideas and clear structure that allows the essay to flow. Having effective transitions is also very important. For citations, for quoting, you have to smoothly integrate it into the text. You have to have correct MLA format. And then for mechanics, use sentence structures that are correct, use good grammar and punctuation, and don't have any spelling errors. So the rubric that you'll reference is already in the assignment of the peer edit, and it's also linked in the corner of the slides.
So we're going to be using that rubric for the peer editing today, and each of you will receive one anonymous essay from someone else in the class, and this is the essay you'll peer edit. Since we only got a few essays, all of you guys will be peer editing either one of an essay, and so you'll have 15 minutes to look over this essay, and then use the points on the rubric to grade it out of 15 points. So since we're using Google Docs, you can access suggesting mode in the upper right-hand corner, and this will allow you to make comments. Make sure to include both positive and constructive comments. For instance, what did they do well, and what could they improve on? So, for example, if you thought they had a strong, clear claim, but their reasoning was a little off, you can comment on that. And you guys should be able to access this assignment on Google Classroom.
So we need to split them into the different doc numbers. So on the documents to peer edit, there's 1 and 2. So we need to split you guys up. So can you like rate if you can see, can you like send a chat to me individually if you're a student? Just like say hi or something, I don't know, and then I'll give you your number. Okay. So once I give you your number, you can go to the assignment and start commenting on that doc. Okay, if you haven't messaged me, you haven't gotten your number yet, so do so. You can message me anything. I'm just giving you your number. So far only Manning, Iris, Franklin, and have messaged me. Is that it? Is anyone else a student? Okay, well, if I give you a number, you can start. If you didn't get a number but you're a student, you can choose 1 or 2. It doesn't matter that much. But yeah, so Michelle, you can start the timer.
Okay, great. Everyone can see the timer, right? All right, I'm gonna start the timer.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
So where to find the doc, either 1 or 2? Hello?
It's on the Google Classroom. Yeah, I'll give you the code for Google Classroom.
Thank you.
I'll send it to everyone.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, that's the Google Classroom code. So just copy and paste it into Google Classroom, and you'll see the assignment is on the very top. When you're done, you can just type in the chat that you're done so we know when everyone's done.
Okay, you guys have 5 minutes left for the peer editing. Okay, there's 1 more minute. Hopefully you guys are wrapping up by now. And let us know if you need any more time.
Okay, so now we're gonna briefly go over the peer edit. So, Michelle, if you can pull up the first document.
Okay, sure. Let's see.
Okay, so we're gonna briefly go over some of the comments that you guys put. So, if you worked on the first essay, what are some of the mistakes that you found? Or I guess we'll just go over some of the mistakes. Okay, so let's see. So we have some spelling errors and change of word choice. Okay, so here Franklin says that it seems that you're comparing online school and traditional school. So that's a good point to note. So we have a lot of good comments. So if you wrote this essay, you should look over it later. I'll have the documents up, and you'll probably know if you wrote this essay because you know. And then for the conclusion, it says that you left the reader something to think about, which is really good. So I think that was a good peer edit. Okay, we can go on to the second doc.
Okay.
Okay, so if you worked on the second doc, can you explain what you think the writer can improve on?
So I think like within paragraphs there were like multiple claims rather than only one. So maybe just like elaborating more on one claim rather than like writing 2-3 claims in a paragraph.
Yeah, that's a good point. And what do you think the writer did well?
I guess like their points, like their claims are like pretty strong, I guess.
Uh-huh. And then did you find their argument compelling and convincing? Like, would you agree? Like, yeah, is their argument compelling and convincing?
I think it's somewhat convincing, but I think like if they elaborated more and maybe like cited like which article they got it from, it would be more like credible and convincing.
That's a good point. You should cite your articles for ethos. And then what are some like grammar and spelling mistakes that you found? You can just name one or two. Okay, I guess we'll just look over a little. So we just have a few spelling mistakes here and there, but it's not that bad. Okay, I think we're good with reviewing peer editing. We're just gonna go to our next part of the lesson, which is Kahoot.
Yep. Okay, so for the Kahoot, we'll be playing two different ones. The first one will be for argumentative writing, and the second one will be for grammar. So please go to kahoot.it, and then I'll show the code on the screen, And when asked for a nickname, please type in your real name. Just your first name is fine. And I'm guessing most people know how to play Kahoot. If not, I'll review it shortly. On my screen, there will be a question, and then on your screen, there will be 4 color choices. Pick the one that's correct, and try to do either split screens or use 2 separate devices so you can see the questions and the answer choices. Okay, so the first one is argumentative writing. And here's the game pin. Can everyone see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, does anyone else want to join? If not, I'm going to start the Kahoot now. Right, great job, guys. Okay, so for this one, classify what type of statement this is. Nice. Looks like there's a tie. Okay, so for this one, it looks like some people thought it was conclusion, some people thought it was a claim, but this is actually evidence because it's supporting the previous point that year-round school is not a good idea. I guess it's not very clear because you can't see all the questions at once, but that's why it counts as a piece of evidence. And this one is evidence because it has factual information that supports the main point. Okay, so for this set of questions, they're mostly related to the first claim that year-round school is not a good idea. So the rest of these won't be claims, well, until the next set. But yeah, it counts as reasoning because it's explaining why this point is true. And argument is sort of similar to claim. So it's not technically an argument in this case.
Good job, Melissa.
Okay, so for this set, the next few are going to be following this claim. So they're all going to be under the claim that year-round school improves students' academic achievement. Okay, nice. And this one counts as a rebuttal because it's directly rebutting the previous counter argument that people think year-round school means less summer break. Okay. All right. Good job to the winner. And now we're going to be doing the grammar Kahoot. All right. Everyone ready? I'm going to show you guys the new. Okay, so use this game pin. Okay, this Kahoot is kind of long, so we might have to cut it short in the middle, but I'll just start it and see how far we can get. Does anyone else want to join? Okay, I'm going to start it then. Okay, so correct the sentence. Okay, so for this one, effect and affect are both pretty similar. So in most cases, people usually use affect as a verb and effect as a noun, but you can also use effect as a verb. Sometimes, for instance, the governor affected the ban. So yeah, this one's a little bit tricky. It's something to keep an eye out for. Okay, so this one is whose, because who apostrophe s is who is, as I'm sure most of you know. And so we knew we could expect Sasha, who is always hitting the snooze button, to be late to class. And for this one, whom is an object such as him. So if you get confused, you can replace the word with whom with him and then see which one works better in the sentence. For instance, who's dating whom? Who is the subject and whom is the object. So it would be who's first and then whom second. Like if you wrote who's dating him, that would make more sense. And you wouldn't write him dating him or him dating who. So that's why it's who's and whom. Okay, and this one is similar to the last question. So all right, so for this one, laying is when you lay something down, like when you lay the blanket down on the sofa, and lying is when you do the action. This one is pretty tricky, so you might need to practice a bit before you can get good at it. But laying is generally like when you do it, and laying is when you do it to something else, and lying is when you do it yourself. Okay, this one is the same as the last one too. So since I am going to lie down, it would be lie instead of lay. Nice job. All right, so the next one's probably going to be the last question because we're almost out of time. Just two vowels and apples with A and E. Okay, so nice job, you guys, and thank you for participating. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, we hope you enjoyed our course and learned something that will help you guys in the future. And please fill out our feedback survey. It's on the Google Classroom, but I can also send it in the chat.
Yeah, so these slides are linked on the Google Classroom if you want to access any of the information for future notices. And also the documents, you can access them too. And if one of the peer edit documents were yours, I suggest you look over the comments and you can edit them too. And if you did turn in an essay, we'll grade it within the next week just so you can get some feedback.